allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, first item of business is the approval for the minutes of June. Anybody have any changes or corrections in the minutes?
No.
All right, I make a motion the minutes be approved. You second it? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so the minutes are done. The other thing, before we start, November 11th, next meeting is supposed to be November 11th, that's Veterans Day. So November 4th is available. This room is available November 4th. How does that schedule work with everybody?
That's okay.
Okay?
That works for me.
Adam?
Yeah.
Adam, good, okay. So next meeting will be November 4th instead of Monday, November 4th instead of November 11th. Okay. First application is Sean Meehan-Hooks, 15 Healy Road, Cold Spring, New York. Is there anybody here for the applicant? Okay. One of you want to step up to the mic, please, now? Picture. Hey, you're picking him, huh? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Basically what it is the applicant proposes a 2 foot by 2.5 inch by 18 foot 1 inch kitchen addition, proposing a 2 foot by 6 inch north side yard setback where 30 feet is required, and proposing a west rear yard of 3 feet 5 inches where 50 foot is required. Since the proposal does not comply with 175 with the town of Philipstown dimensional table found in chapter 175 of the zoning code, the building application is denied. And that's what you're doing here. You're asking for a variance. Okay, I guess you're looking to put a small addition onto your kitchen?
Very small, yeah. Just
Yeah,
like right
2.5
off the
feet,
bottom.
2.5 feet
Yeah.
by 18 feet.
Yeah.
What was the reason for that? What are you going to put in there, I guess?
Well, we just needed a little bit more room in the kitchen. We're going to put a new island in the middle, and then we're going to relocate the propane tank that's existing, that's not even on there, but
Okay.
move that around to the other side of the house, so it's a little bit less on the property line.
I read your
over there.
application, and one thing that really interested me was the letter, I guess, from years ago from Gordon Dale. I guess he was the original owner? Or, yeah, he's
Who, the guy that did the addition?
The farmhouse was built in 1850.
Yeah,
And sometime
and
around
then they- yeah, then
1910,
New
the
York
city
City,
of New York used
eminent
eminent domain,
domains.
took all the property.
Yeah,
and
the
put-
eminent
and put the
domain,
house
the
up against the
entire
property line.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So he said, however, there may come a time when the non-conforming use of the certificate of occupancy has been granted. However, there may come a time when the owners of the farmhouse may wish to make an addition towards the aqueduct property. I simply wish to make the building department and the zoning board of appeals aware of the unreasonable burden which was placed upon the property by the city of New York by drawing the boundary so close to the house as it existed at that time. I encourage the zoning board of appeals to take this into consideration. Such a variance should be requested in the future. Yeah, and we weren't around in 1910, but I can see that was a real.
Exactly, it's very
We're taking
close.
your property and putting your house against the line. That was something. I see you got everything here. You got the 5 factors you answered. We got a survey. We got an idea of what you're doing. I see we gave you a variance for a 2-story addition in 1998. Was that you?
Two owners before us.
2 owners before that. Okay. And also for a swimming pool. That was another owner?
2 owners before us,
Okay.
yeah, same guy.
Well, you just want to make a bigger kitchen, right?
I know, just a little bit.
It's a
Not
little
even
bit.
big.
Yeah, it is 2.5 feet. When I saw it, I thought it was a mistake when I read it at 2.5 feet.
I wish it was a mistake, but no.
Okay. I think we have everything here. The purpose of tonight's meeting is to see that we make sure that we have everything the board needs to make a decision, and we'll have to set it for a public hearing. Anybody have any questions right now on this one?
No.
I think we have everything. The application is complete. Therefore, I make a motion that the application be accepted as complete.
Second.
Mr. Hisson seconds it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, what we're going to do is we'll set you up for a public hearing. All right, that'll be November 4th.
Yep.
Okay, what happens, letters will go out to the neighbors, and I guess letters got to go to New York City, too, to the Aqueduct or something like that. I don't think they'll have much of a complaint, I don't know, but, just to let you know that they're gonna get a letter too. And it'll give people a chance, if any of your neighbors have any questions about what you're gonna do or anything else like that, they'll come here and be able to voice their opinion.
Okay.
And that will go over everything, and if we decide that the variance will be granted, we'll vote it at that day. Okay?
Awesome.
You're all set.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Next one is, let's see, what I got here. Automar, 3070 Route 9 Cold Spring. Okay, just tell us who you are, please.
Good evening. I'm Douglas Cooper. I represent Manny Yanas, who's the owner of the property in question.
I'm sorry, what's your name again?
Douglas Cooper.
Oh, I see, okay. I have a letter here that you could represent them as far as speaking at the board. I needed a letter, and I have it.
Oh, great. Okay, very
I
good.
couldn't speak for them unless I had a letter.
I
from
see.
them.
Yes, I
You're all
understand.
set there, go ahead.
So as an introduction to the project, the development was designed as a two-phase construction. And phase one consists of a gas station and a Dunkin' Donuts with a flex building. And then phase two is a solar farm at the rear of the property, well removed from the main street, from Route 9.
That's what I'm looking up on the screen here. I
Oh,
see it,
great.
yeah, okay.
See that?
We have the site survey, too.
Okay. So the purpose of this meeting tonight really is to discuss the opportunity for a drive-through.
Yeah, in the zoning, that's, what is it, 17543D, it says, "Restaurant drive-up or drive-through window shall be prohibited." That's just what it says, simple as
I
that.
saw that.
Okay, don't give you a lot of room there, it just says shall be prohibited.
Right. So I'd like to point out a couple of things. First, if you notice the existing curb cut to the development is on the upper left side.
Right.
So that is entered, and then you start to go to one or both of the developments. To get to the drive-through, it's a separate queue, totally separate way in. You're not driving directly from Route 9, of course. And then there's a very long queue line as well. The drive-through itself is on the opposite side of the building. It's not really seen at all. And there's not really a lot of detriment. We're happy to mitigate anything that you might find as much as possible, but I think it's a big convenience for people. In fact, there's some statistics that I included in the application. I think it's 67% of all the Dunkin' Donuts have drive-throughs. I think 40 or more percent of the people who travel and don't have drive-throughs, they wouldn't actually go into the store. These are statistics, US-based statistics that are known. There's some other benefits to this. For instance, people who may be elderly or have young children, and just the convenience of the location. I realize this area does not currently allow for the drive-through, but there's no drive-through for several miles in either direction, and it's such a perfect artery for that. It would get very good use. So there.
Are you going to put in your own road? Is that what that, on the side of the property, is that what you're planning to do?
Yeah, so there's an existing curb cut. There's a road now that crosses the bridge, goes towards the back of the property.
Okay.
The other directional and roads are for the development itself, so they are new, including the road which is isolated for the drive-through. It's not mixed with anyone else.
Right. Okay. I saw you did you did the 5 factors question, but you answered, you said a lot of something, you said, you didn't answer the question, you said see page 4, see page 4.
So, yeah, if you look at page 4, there's 11.
Yeah, no, the only question you answered was the last one, about is it a self-imposed, which it is, you answered the question 5, you didn't answer the other 4. You say see page 4. Page 4's got 12 reasons that you give.
Yeah,
that
11.
That the variance should be granted. I'm going to ask you to do a new one of these, because it's not our job to pick out from one from column A, one from column B.
Okay.
It's your job to answer the questions.
Understood.
Okay, you understand? Okay. So, I mean, that's all grade 12, but I don't know which one is, 4 fits this, 5 fits that. That's your job. So get another one, fill it out correctly, answer the questions,
Okay.
okay? And make sure our secretary gets it so we can have it for the next meeting, okay?
Sure.
Also, let's see, I think I have a letter from the planning board. Let's see. Dear Mr. D, Manny Yanis, applicant, has filed a site application to the Town of Philipstown Planning Board concerning the Automar vehicle repair property along the east side of Route 9, 200-plus feet north of Corey Lane. The site currently contains a 3,000-plus square commercial structure formerly utilized as a vehicle repair shop. The property comprises 24.3 acres. Clove Creek traverses the site. The applicant plans to demolish the existing structure and change the use to establish a gas station, 4 pumps for gas and 3 for diesel. Dunkin' Donuts convenience store, 4,000 square feet, and 18,000 square feet flex storage building along the property frontage under Phase 1 of the project proposed. A solar farm is proposed for the rear of the track under Phase 2 of the owner developments. Specifically, per 175-43D, driveways and drive-through windows specifies that restaurant drive-ups or drive-through windows are prohibited. The provision would pertain to the Dunkin' Donuts use. Therefore, in order to advance the proposal, a variance of the Town Board of Appeals will be required. So that's from the board now. Like I say, you got to do that over, and for our next meeting, so we can. Otherwise, it's not complete. And I do have some letters I just got tonight. Let's see. So you're aware of what's going on,
Yes, I've seen it.
Chairman Dean, members of the zoning board, thank you for your service to Philipstown. I trust that you will carefully consider the ramifications of approving a zoning variance for a drive-through restaurant at the former Automar site. I believe this would set a terrible precedent for a town. Drive-through restaurants such as Dunkin' Donuts, McDonald's are garnish, and conspicuously commercial and not in keeping with the character of Philipstown. A Dunkin' Donuts, especially in conjunction with a gas station, would further the ongoing fiscalization of Route 9 in Philipstown. Kindly see attached photo of the corner of Route 9 and Elm Street in Fishkill. Thank you, and that's Alice Kreger, Krakuer, in East Mountain Road. I'm sorry? Krakuer, East Mountain Road. Next one is from, let's see, Bonnie Stein. I recently heard and wrote about the potential plan for building a gas station and Dunkin' Donuts at the Automar site at Route 9. I have strong reservations about a plan like that for a few reasons. Listed below, as a longtime member of this community, I appreciate George Martin's shop, Automar, and sorry to see him leave the area. What is replaced on that location needs to be well considered and in line with the area's beauty. I would personally love to see the same chain store restrictions that are in place for the village extend to Route 9. Here are my 3 points. 1, a drive-in, please consider carefully what would happen if there is approval for a zoning variance for a drive-through restaurant at the former Automar site. This would be really dangerous way to develop the site. Drive-through fast food places are completely against the preservation of our character and nature of Philipstown and our community. 2, donuts. Donuts are already available from our local sources, including, most importantly, 2 that are just a few steps away from Automar's site on Route 9. Various fruit and vegetable stand has the best homemade donuts for miles around. I got to go there. And regard baked goods in general. B&L Deli has pies and baked goods that far surpass any chain store version like Dunkin'. The main question is, why would you want a chain store to be built next to our beloved long-term local businesses to provide lower quality, cheap products? 3, gas station. The BP gas station has been on location nearby Route 9 for years and has successful local business selling homemade deli products fresh daily. Why would we want to replace or build another gas station so close by? I appreciate your attention. It's Bonnie Stein. And I got a 3rd letter. Dear Honorable, this is from Madeline Sanchez McKinley. I have lived on East Mountain Road traveling on Route 9 for the past 22 years. I have many concerns about the proposed gas station. 18,000 square foot building and a new Dunkin' Donuts drive, though it drive-through at the Automar side of Route 9. But today, I will limit my comments to what is before you, which is a variance request to operate a drive-through establishment in a zoning district which prohibits this use. My concerns are about traffic and safety in that section of Route 9. I'm quite familiar in how difficult it is to pull in and out of that stretch, as Beatty and Watson offices are directly opposite the proposed development, and I frequently visit their offices. In fact, I never make a left-hand turn coming out of Beatty and Watson driveway because it's so treacherous. There's a blind curve to the south, and there usually are so many cars coming, it's hard to find an opening. So imagine what it would be like a drive-through business. There would be more cars to contend with, and what about the cars heading south on 9 going into Duncan? Unless there were a designated turning lane, they would be backed up, creating hazards on the southbound lane. Route 9 is hereby a traffic and safety nightmare. Why would we add to that? I would hope that the owner would be required to conduct an independent traffic study and would reveal the issues in this spot. Madeline Sanchez McGinty. Those 3 letters all address your concerns. Those concerns are going to have to be addressed by the planning board.
Right.
Okay?
I understand.
This is not under our jurisdiction, or even what I'm trying to say. I mean, we'll take it into consideration, of course, but it's not under our jurisdiction. Our jurisdiction is basically decide on the drive-through window, which is by code prohibited.
Understood.
So-
I can respond to some of those if I'm able.
I'm sorry?
I can respond to some of those comments in the letters. So first, it's not a chain store. Dunkin' Donuts is not a chain store. It's actually an independently owned franchise. And they're done, usually businesses by entrepreneurs who are local to the area and hire local labor as well. So that's just not true. As far as traffic, well, if you look at the plan, there's a huge line isolated just for the drive-through area. And you could queue up probably 50 or more cars, which I doubt they would ever have, without really impacting the traffic there. Of course, planning board may recommend that we do a traffic study, and then we would. As far as the look of the structure and that being garish, I don't think this is a garish development. I can pass it around and get a closer look.
We have a picture too. You gave us
okay,
picture.
I see.
We have, in your plans, we have a picture of it. too.
Okay.
Right.
And this is also not the historic village. I mean, I understand.
I'm sorry?
It's not the historic village of Philipstown. I can understand, you know, if it
You got
if
people
it
here,
was.
house was just built in 1850.
Right.
That's a little historic, don't you think?
No, he's talking about that spot on.
Oh, I mean, spot, a historic area?
Yes,
You mean?
Route 9 I'm talking about.
Oh,
This
okay.
specific
Well, no.
area is not a historic. It's
Right.
not a downtown, it's not a village area.
Right.
I don't think you can expect, you know, to curtail the development there just because it's not a small, quaint little donut shop.
Okay.
And I think that really addresses the,
All right. Well, like I say, anybody have any questions right now?
Yeah, I do. So Dunkin' Donut has a various, you know, has an expectation of what the traffic should be in order for them to grant a franchise. What is the expectation of the traffic that would go into this Dunkin' Donut on a daily basis?
yeah, I don't have the answer for that. I don't know the numbers statistically. I can tell you that we have ample parking based on the code.
It's not the parking that's the issue. It's actually Route 9 access and the way that Route 9 backs up at particularly 2 times a day. It's very backed up through that area, and you're a curve. My other question is from where the Automar, easement access is, there's a hillside right there. You know, it's a hill.
On the left, yep.
Right, on the left. So that, it doesn't indicate here that it's even part of the property of Automar to be able to shape that hillside so that there would be proper sight lines for traffic turning into that road, that road easement. And also going out. So you're going to have people coming out to cross into the southbound lane, as well as people traveling south and turning into that area. So I think you would have to really address what the visuals are gonna be there, you know, that's gonna prevent accidents, especially when there's heavy traffic, as there is, or at other times when people are traveling 50 to 60 miles per hour in that area.
Right, and so if you look at the site, there's two lots here, 3063 and 3060. The owner actually bought 3060 just recently, and part of that is for when you're traveling north, there's a slight curve there. And so he bought 3060. There's a house currently on that site, which would be demolished, and there would be some pruning of the trees on that curve, so you would be able to see coming in.
Can you just point out more, I don't see 3060, maybe I'm just missing it. What do you see?
Go to the front page.
Okay, okay, easier to see on that one. Okay. Here we go.
It's the one south, it's 3060.
And I'm
No,
talking.
You're talking about the one just
Yeah,
north
I'm
of.
talking about the one that's just north.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's as much of an issue as the one south, to be honest.
It is an issue to some degree, I know because Automar used to rent out U-Haul trucks, and they would park them on that little hill a little bit up there, so there is a bit of an obstruction. I can't say for sure that it's how much of a visual obstruction it is, but, you know, it's something that I think you should be able to at least talk about and say, this is what we know about that, this is what our surveyors have looked at, you know.
So we're expecting that a traffic study would have to be done. I could say, as earlier, there's a very long queue line for the drive-through itself. I mean, you could probably have 100 cars there in line, which would never happen. And it's isolated, it's not part of any other ingress or egress.
Sure.
Also, what can you tell us about that easement? The easement road that runs into that property? What do you know about it?
So I know that it goes from the Route 9 all the way towards the back. And frankly, there would have, for anyone to use that, they would have to develop the bridge there. We particularly made this a two-phase development so that we would not be addressing the rear portion of the property or any work that might need to be done to the bridge structurally or otherwise. So,
Right, because of the two-phase. This is not a question really for the zoning board. It is a question that has to be answered later on, because this easement actually connects to part of the state park, which I know because I've spent a lot of time taking that trail through there. And you know, so your owner should know some more information about that particular easement. I will certainly, as a citizen, be asking that the planning board be certain of what that easement is, but it is outside of the zoning board, so I'm just asking.
it doesn't appear to be
you know, if you
used
know.
now either.
Right.
Not much at all, or if at all. I don't see anyone driving on it.
No, I mean, this whole area was filled with trucks before.
As far as the question is about the number of cars, I think that's a legitimate question. I'm sure you had to do some kind of research and so on and so forth in order before you're going to build this, you know, either you, Duncan, or somebody, or the owner. I mean, you're not going to expect 2 cars a day because you'd be out of business quickly. When you come to next month's meeting, I'd like to know that how many cars you expect a day to go through there. Okay.
Sure.
I mean, you had business purposes, you had to do that.
Okay,
Okay.
no problem.
And like I say, do the other thing with the correct answers. And anybody else have any questions?
Oh, I just have one, and it's actually for Adam. Since this is Route 9, it has, I'm not sure what the setback requirement is, and I'm also concerned, does New York State have to comment on this?
Well, the planning board would be lead agency on this. And for our purposes, no, this is just a referral from the planning board to us on the discrete issue of can they have a drive-through component to one of the structures? That's the one variance that they need from us. So the short answer is on the question of the variance that we were asked to pass upon, New York State does not need to comment on that particular issue that's before the zoning board.
Okay, any other questions from anybody?
Yeah, is the new driveway gonna be further north than the existing driveway now?
No.
No? Because it looks, I mean, on your plan, the existing shows the entrance driveway. If you look at,
Which one are you?
the existing, shows the driveway kind of coming in towards the middle of that property. And then on your next one, you're coming in all the way at the north.
So if you look at page 2,
Yep.
there is a curb cut there as well. There's one towards the middle for the Automar, and there's one further north.
Okay, so you're gonna be using the further north
Yeah,
one.
well, it's not a new curb cut, yes.
Okay. But it's not the one that Automar was using?
No.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, I'm going to make the reason for the meeting tonight is just to see if we have everything that we need for the public hearing, okay?
Understood.
And I say, like I say, the only thing you have to turn in is that, that questionnaire.
Sure.
Okay, at this point, I guess I make a motion that the application is complete.
And I would second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're going to set you up for a meeting, public hearing, November 4th. Now, a letter go out to all the surrounding neighbors and all like that, but, of course, while I see 3 letters here, I'm sure there might be more. And anybody who lives in the town, anybody who lives in the town can come and voice their concerns and all like that. That's what the public hearing is about, okay?
Yes.
And so you'll be prepared for that, you understand.
Understood.
We're ready to answer those questions. And also, when the letters go out, people will be able to go to the town and see the plans and so forth. They'll be able to look at the plans, so they have maybe a little more familiar. But just be prepared. You know what the questions are going to be. So I'm sure you're aware of that, okay? All right, that's it. We'll see you November 4th.
Thank you for listening tonight.
Thank you. Anybody else? Any new business? Any old business? Make a motion to adjourn? Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's it. You're done.